first story the train rattled and screeched as it pulled into the desolate station of Pripyat. My heart thudded against my ribcage, a mix of excitement and dread flooding my senses. I stepped onto the platform, the chill of the air biting through my jacket. The sky hung heavy with clouds, casting a gloomy pall over the abandoned town. As a journalist, I'd been drawn to Pripyat by the tales of its tragic history, the Chernobyl disaster that had rendered it uninhabitable. But there was something else, something darker that whispered to me in the dead of night, urging me to uncover its secrets. I wandered the empty streets, my footsteps echoing against the crumbling buildings. Nature had begun to reclaim what was once hers, vines snaking through cracked concrete, and ivy creeping up the walls of abandoned apartments. A sense of unease settled over me like a shroud as I delved deeper into the heart of the town. Shadows danced at the corners of my vision, and I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Night fell like a heavy curtain, enveloping Pripyat in darkness. I found myself drawn to the ruins of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, a looming monolith against the night sky. As I ventured closer, a chill wind whispered through the broken windows, carrying with it the echoes of the past. I could almost hear the screams of the workers as the reactor exploded, feel the weight of their fear pressing down on me. I stumbled upon an old school, its halls filled with the remnants of a life interrupted, a child's drawing left abandoned on a desk, a forgotten textbook lying open on the floor. But it was the sound of children's laughter that sent shivers down my spine, echoing through the empty corridors. I followed the sound, my footsteps quickening with each passing moment. But as I rounded the corner, the laughter ceased, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to stretch on for eternity. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that unseen eyes followed my every move. My nerves frayed at the edges as I stumbled upon a hidden bunker, its entrance obscured by overgrown foliage. Curiosity overcame caution as I stepped inside, the stale air heavy with the scent of decay. The walls were lined with shelves filled with decaying cans of food and rusted medical supplies. But it was the journal I found tucked away in a corner that sent a chill down my spine. The words were scrawled in a frantic hand, detailing the horrors that had unfolded in the days following the disaster, the sickness, the desperation, the madness. I should have left then, should have heeded the warnings whispered by the ghosts of Pripyat. But something compelled me to stay, to uncover the truth hidden within its crumbling walls. As I delved deeper into the bunker, I stumbled upon a chamber bathed in flickering candlelight. And there, amidst the shadows, I saw them, the specters of the past, their faces twisted in agony, their eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. I tried to flee, to escape the horrors that lurked in the darkness. But it was too late. They surrounded me, their whispers filling my mind with madness, their hands reaching out to drag me into the depths of despair. And so ends my tale, a cautionary reminder of the dangers that lie within the shadows of Pripyat. As I lay here, trapped in this nightmare realm between the living and the dead, I can only hope that my words serve as a warning to those who dare to tread where they do not belong. For Pripyat is not a place for the faint of heart, nor is it a place to be trifled with. Its secrets are best left buried, its ghosts left undisturbed. Lest you too become lost in the darkness, condemned to wander its empty streets for all eternity. Second story in the eerie twilight of a desolate Pripyat, where the ghosts of the past danced with shadows in the abandoned ruins of a once thriving city, I found myself drawn into a nightmare that transcended the boundaries of the living and the dead. My name is Alexei, and I am the reluctant chronicler of the horror that unfolded in the heart of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. It all began when I received a mysterious letter from an unknown sender. The envelope was aged and worn, the paper yellowed with time. Inside, a single sentence haunted me: "Return to Pripyat, the ghosts await your arrival. Driven by an inexplicable compulsion, I embarked on a journey back to the place where my family once lived, and where the Chernobyl disaster had left an indelible mark on the landscape and the souls that once inhabited it. As I entered the forsaken city, a chilling wind whispered through the skeletal remains of Pripyat's buildings. The rusted Ferris wheel stood as a macabre monument to a time frozen in tragedy. I navigated through the decayed streets, the crunch of broken glass underfoot a haunting symphony. In the heart of the abandoned hospital, where the air hung heavy with the stench of decay, I discovered a journal that belonged to a long-forgotten doctor. The pages spoke of unexplained phenomena, of spectral figures that roamed the halls at night, and of the lingering anguish of those who perished in the aftermath of the reactor explosion. As night fell, the city seemed to come alive with malevolent energy. Unearthly whispers echoed through the desolate corridors, and shadowy figures danced at the edge of my vision. The flickering lights of my flashlight cast long, distorted shadows that seemed to move independently of me. In the ruins of an old school, I stumbled upon a group of hauntingly preserved dolls arranged in a circle. Each doll bore an uncanny resemblance to the children who once played in the empty streets. Their glassy eyes seemed to follow my every move, and a shiver ran down my spine as I felt an unseen presence in the room. Deep within the bowels of the Chernobyl power plant, where the radioactive remnants of the disaster lingered, I encountered a spectral figure cloaked in the tattered remnants of a hazmat suit. Its hollow eyes locked onto mine, and a voice, as ancient as the radiation that permeated the air, whispered a cryptic warning. As I delved further into the mysteries of Pripyat, I uncovered a secret society that had sought to harness the supernatural forces unleashed by the Chernobyl catastrophe. The remnants of their occult rituals were scattered throughout the city, and a growing sense of dread enveloped me as I realized that I was not alone in my quest. In the abandoned amusement park, the Ferris wheel began to turn of its own accord, its creaking joints echoing through the desolation. The ghostly laughter of children echoed in the air, and a chilling mist enveloped the area, distorting reality and blurring the line between the living and the dead. I sought refuge in the dilapidated apartment building where my family once lived, only to find a room untouched by time. Family photographs adorned the walls, and the sound of distant footsteps echoed in the empty hallways. The specters of my loved ones seemed to beckon me into the unknown, and a profound sorrow settled over me. As the boundaries between the physical and metaphysical blurred, I became entwined in a struggle for survival against otherworldly forces that sought to trap me in the eternal purgatory of Pripyat. The very fabric of reality seemed to unravel, and I questioned whether the horrors I faced were the result of a fractured mind or the malevolent influence of the supernatural. In the heart of the reactor, where the air crackled with an otherworldly energy, I confronted the source of the haunting. A spectral figure emerged from the depths, a manifestation of the collective pain and anguish of those who had perished in the Chernobyl disaster. Its mournful wail reverberated through the cavernous chamber, and I understood that only by confronting the ghosts of the past could I hope to escape the clutches of Pripyat's nightmarish grip. As I stood on the precipice between the living and the dead, a blinding light enveloped me, and the oppressive weight that had burdened my soul lifted. I awoke on the outskirts of Pripyat, the first rays of dawn breaking through the clouds. The city lay silent and still, the specters of the past fading into the morning mist. I stumbled away from the haunted ruins, forever changed by the horrors I had witnessed. The mysteries of Pripyat remained buried in the shadows, a testament to the enduring power of a tragedy that transcended the boundaries of time and space. And so, dear reader, my tale comes to an end. But remember, the ghosts of Pripyat may linger, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to stumble upon the echoes of a city forever trapped in the haunting aftermath of Chernobyl.